Hi everyone, my name is Mawanda and I will be taking you through to the Python Tic Tac game I just developed. Yeah, here comes the variables. I just have the position, the pick, count, and 10. Then for now I add them to the variable none, since they are just withholding nothing. Then I will use them through after the right here in the top. You can see there's a welcoming note, just welcoming you to the Python Tic Tac game. I just use the print, like the print function, and the equal signs, a lot of equal signs integrated here within the strings, and the underscore here within the strings, just to decorate the welcoming note. Then here comes another variable. I declared it as the game over. When the game, I will use it when the game is false. When the game over is false, meaning that the game will be still playing on. Then let's take a look at the functions I just integrate. A bunch, that is a single function that withholds a lot of functions on all the programs that are within this game. And I have created two lists. One dimensional list, that is the board, which is a range of 1 up to 9. Then I also created the winning numbers list. Then it will also it's a tuple. Just created a tuple here with its list inside, list of tuples. Then here comes the function. The second function will just display. It will display the board. The board is using a number pad, as you have an idea of a number in the computer and how is it seated. Then the second function will be player 1, the third one will be player 2, then the fourth one will be choose a number. The last one will be checking the board. Let me take it through to the first function, as the display board. Here I just use the print function as I did just here on the top. I printed the strings within the board. Then I used an indexing just like 0, 1 up to 8, just to make a board representation of using a number pad structure starting from 0. Then another function. Now let's take a look at the third function, which will be player 1. Here, as you can take a look, you will find out that that function, the first variable which was declared on the global, was put now into this function, and we assigned a variable which is the choose number. That is the function we'll be taking a look at next. It's just below. Then I called this function and assigned it to this value, whereby you'll be choosing a position where the place in the number pad. Then if board now, and I use that indexing of the position on the number pad. Then we say if board is equal to x, that is the strings x, or board in the position, board in that position is equal to 0. In fact, an O. It's an O, not a 0. Then I will say in that condition, print sorry, you can't pick this position, because it will be already picked that the position at that side at that time. Then I will return the function, the player 1, this function. Else, if the board in that position is equal to string, then it will continue to the next statement, next function here. Then now, hold on, here comes the function, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, it's a first function. Here you will find that this is the second player, and again that position as a variable we declared from the outside, which in fact on one. Then we adopted now into this function as well, for a use as the same as we used it on that function for player 1. Then we assigned it again, same steps we did player 1, we assigned it into the choose number, that is whereby the player will be choosing a number into that position. Therefore, another again with the condition, if board now in that position is equal to x, or the board into that position, same position, is equal to 0, then now we'll find that okay, we'll print out this statement. You can't go there now, that because there will be another withholding, the value will be on the number pad will be already holding something. Then try will request the player to again. Then now we retention, that is the player 2, else the board in the position is equal to 0, then we'll execute the next statement. Okay, now let's moving forward, let's just take a look at now to another function, that is the one I said we are going to look at, the choose number. Here you will find out that I just use a while loop, an infinite loop, but I'll say while through the condition will be as follows. Then I used 2 while loops, which is a while loop within a while loop. Then I adopted the variable pick out of there just to use it for input. If a player would want to pick a position, then they will request the input and validate. Hence here we would find out that if try while through, then that global variable pick will be assigned to an input, whereby the user will be required to input a value whereby a position you want to withhold. Then now we will say if the condition, if that pick in range, we're making a range now, if that pick in range, then it's up to 0 up to 9 from that list. Remember that one-dimensional list we have here. So if 0 up to 9, making with these combinations, then we find out okay, then we return the pick, then we return the exact position where you picked the variable. Else we'll print it that's not on the board. Try again, meaning that if we print something like maybe you're saying an x or something that is not a number, we just return this okay, that's not on the board. Try again, then we continue. Then in handling an inspection, now we are returning a value. If sometimes we enter something that is not even a number, then we say okay, maybe if you entered an enter, then we say this is not a number. Try again, then we return that again to the start of the loop. The loop will iterate until you give us the final good result, an acceptable result. Then we continue. Here we are checking the board now to the function. Here we say now, as we adopt the count variable, whereby we now need to accumulate the number of how much number of times we accumulated, whereby when we are checking the board. Again, then we need to that one up to sum up to 9, because the board is made up of 9 numbers. Then we assigned it one value that we adopted from the one. Then we assigned it into 0 for now. Then moving forward, we are now making a loop. We say for I in winning numbers, that is for I in these winning numbers. Do you remember this the winning combinations here? We have these winning combinations of numbers. Then for I in these numbers, that for loop speak to this, then it will perform the following results. Then we say if board in this I, then in this index position of 0, then we say is equal to board. Then in this I, that variable assigned to that I, then into is equal to into this index board again, this one. Then we say once again as well is also the board on that position is into this index. Then all this is equal to x. Then if the condition is true, we say print congratulations player 1. We have 1 because those variables will be matching. In fact, these numbers, as you can see from my list here, you see that okay, if the combination of 0, 1 and 2, then it's a win. That one, that those are the combination of the winning numbers. Okay, then we return true, then somebody has won. Then if board again, now we're saying if board is equal to 0 and board now in that index of 1 and the board in the index 2, then we say now okay, remember those winning numbers. We say if it's equal to 0, then we print congratulations player 2, you have won. Like here it was player 1 winning. Then we return true. Okay, then next, now we look at into the board itself, where might accumulate up to 9. We're saying now for A, we're using another for loop here. For A in range that is up to 9, we say the board, that is the number pad, as you can see here, for 8 up to 9. Then we say if then count now will accumulate, we say count plus 1. Remember the plus equal to 1 sign says take anything here and assign into this variable. It's more or less the same when saying when you say, sorry, it's more or less the same thing. If we say count, for instance, say count plus 1 plus 1, then equal here, the count is equal to count plus 1. It's the same thing. The plus equals same thing as this. So let's now turn back to the variable 1. Then the loop will loop through until it's 9. Then we'll say if count is equal to 9, print the game ends in a tie if nobody has won at that moment. Then we return true, then which means the game was the time. Okay, then now we say while the game is not over, then we display the board again, which means now do you remember this variable we adopted, the game over variable? I set it into false. Now it's time. I've used all the other variables except the 10 there. Then we say now, hold on, then we say now the variable we adopted, the game over variable, while not game over, then we display the board. Then after when we display the board, then we check whether the game is over or not. Now we're now gonna call the checkboard function. Then when we call the checkboard function, it will check whether the number pad, that is the board, is empty. After we redisplayed the board, we cleared that board. Then if game over equal to true, then now we have to break and print the statement pause. Game is over, no one is playing for now at this moment. Then we return the statement and say print, then we say player 1, choose where to place your marker. That is, player 1 will be chosen, will be the first one to play. Then we return the function for player 1, and we'll call that function. We remember we didn't pass any parameters here, so we just call that function here, and all the statements within that function will come and will be executed. Then we print the space to avoid like the bunch of codes being close to each other. Now to make some sort of accuracy, then we just printed an empty string here. Then I say, then now we display the board again. Then again, game over is equal to checkboard. Then we call that do you remember that function? We check the board, whereby we're checking the board whether is the board empty. Then we were using those for loops here, whereby checking even the combination of the winning numbers, where somebody has to win. Then we call that function. Then if game over is equal to true, then we break again the same thing we did. We just turn back, we call the function for player 2, then we print player 2 choose where to place your marker. Then again we print a blank space in between the statements so that it does not affect here place in between on the number pad. Then moving forward, if player 2 played again, after he did played finally, or maybe that one needs to just play by player 2, whatever who played, then and win, or the game was in a tie, then we say if the input, we are requesting an input, then do you want to play again? And if that input is equal to yes, we adopt the 10, the global variable we declared as 10 here, and where we remember we assigned it into none. Then now we adopt it into the end of this program. Then we say we call the function for player 1, then we put it here so that the 10 will be for player 1. Then player 1, all the functions, then it will start iterate from the beginning through the loops and all the statements. Then player 1 will be playing, else 10 will be for player 2, and it will do the same. Then now we print the spaces in between. Then we close the function, which was housing was operating as more like of a class with doing all its statements in between. That's it. Yeah, the game. Then now we can test, so as to show you some sort of demonstration how the game works. Now, as you have taken you through to all the functions. Now, if they say you selected the player 1, choose where to place your marker, then you just press 1 and hit the enter. You find out that okay, now player 1 is played his first round, then place its X here in the bottom. And player 2 comes, player 2, maybe let's say we select position it at 5, then we hit the enter, find out okay, that 0 is that position, we put that 0 into that position. Then we say okay, again player 1 will select, let's say now we select 4, okay, now we say okay, and then we say 6, say 3, 2, then say 0. Okay, but now it's saying that's not on the board. Then we say 8, say 9, say 7. Then now it says congratulations player 1, you have won the game. Do you want to play again? Then it will iterate, do the same when player 1 is finished. Thank you very much. Have a good day. Have a blessed. Thank you.